Hi there, welcome to our channel. I'm Vic.
And I'm Nick.
And we are NV Board Gaming. And today we're looking at Caper Europe Mastermind Edition. This is a game designed by Une Rubio and published by Keymaster Games. Nick is going to go through how you play, and then we're going to give our reviews.
All right, welcome to the table. We are set up here for an always two-player game of Caper. It's a two-player only game. So, a couple of things first. We have locations out here. You're going to pick the city. In this case, we picked Rome, so you do see we have the Vatican out here, which is unique, and you can see that symbol right there that shows we are using the Rome deck. There are other European cities in this game that have their own special rules, and that we'll let you get into that if you want to look at the rule book for that part. Locations here. So these two are the generic ones. You can get these no matter what city you're in, so you can always have the art gallery and such. The anatomy of these cards, these locations, this is the victory points you're going to earn if you do win this location. And this as well, you'll get these as bonus points. So this one's saying a victory point for every jewel, every art that has, every jewel token you have. A victory point will be yours. So you win these by earning the most caper. You can see it starts in the middle, and you're going to be pushing and pulling, tug of war, to see who wins these locations. And they're the ones that are going to get the bonus. The bonus 5 and the bonus here. Some of these, like here, special rule for the Vatican, which you'll only have if you're in Rome, this would be the ongoing. If you win, you'll have this, and it's saying your opponent, for every green card your opponent has out, you're going to get victory point, because that arrow says your opponent, and that says victory points. And this is saying an ongoing ability. Every time you play a green card in your crew for that location, you're going to move up the caper to your side. You're going to be pulling it your way. So you're going to see that a lot. Whenever you see that that mask, that means you're moving the caper, which is also indicated on the token itself. It shows a mask. All right, so how are you playing? Well, go over here. You have this little token that's going to keep you the round tracker. This is saying everyone's going to get 4 of the white cards, which are the thieves. And this is the player that's going to start. So ideally, your opponent is sitting opposite of you. This person's going to start. They have the 4 cards. And they're going to go ahead and pick one to play. It'll give you an ability, and it will give you a coin value if it has any. So if I put this out, I'll get 3 coins, and I will get 1 caper marker. So I'm going to decide what location. Every location has 3 spots, and you can see the small arrows where you're going to put those. So if I put this in at the Vatican, I can put these in any 3 of the spots. Let's say I put it here, and I'm going to move the caper token 1 spot toward me for playing it. I'm going to grab 3 coins. Then, when I'm done with that, I pass the remaining 3 cards to my opponent, and my opponent's going to be doing the same thing as well, putting out a thief on one of these locations. Once we're all done with that, we've passed back and forth until we have no cards. The last card that we have is going to go in our hideaway. It may or may not be applicable based on the city. Every city that you play has special rules. Most of the time, it will not be applicable. It will just be discarded. Now, this phase right here is the gear. So you see we're going to get 6 gear cards, and it's going to be the same type of flow where you play a card and the rest of your cards are discarded. So this time, my opponent will be starting. The person sitting opposite of me will be starting because the arrow is pointing to them. So here, let's just take a few example cards off the top of the deck. Here you can play cards on the thieves you have. You have to have a thief on a location to do that. So I couldn't play these absently right here. I have to have somebody there to play it on them. They can hold up the 3 gear. This is just saying simple. I get the same thing as that. So you already know that. I'm moving this if I do that. But if I played this, for instance, I would have to spend $3, which I do have. Let's say I did that. $3, I get one of these of my choice, one of those hexes. Let's say I took this one, hoping that maybe I got that bonus later. And you're also going to get a victory point for every green that you have here at the end. Also note that I did a green card. That was on purpose because now I get to move the caper as well. Because I played a green card, I get to move the caper. This bonus would help my opponent though, right there. So if they won that location, they're going to get victory points for my own green cards. And again, same flow, back and forth, back and forth. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, just different numbers. That's it until the final, and they're going to count up victory points. See who won locations. They're going to get points for the locations they won right here. They're going to get points for various things, the gear, the art, all kinds of stuff, and that's it. That's pretty much it. You're just gonna score your points on that little card. There's not many things that score. Whoever has the most points is gonna win.
All right, and we are back. Thank you, Nick, for the teach. So I guess we'll start with your first thoughts, impressions when you open the game. We have an unboxing video of this game. Waited a long while to get it from Kickstarter. What was your initial impression?
Yeah, par for the course as far as Keymaster games. I expected high quality. I got high quality. The colors are vibrant inside the box. I like the cards. I like the art. The postcards were a nice touch, even though I'm not sure what we're going to do with those exactly. Vic was thinking of some little scrapbook project for our downstairs new game room and studio coming later this year. So that'll be cool. The game, let's just jump into the gameplay. I had never played the original Caper.
Yeah.
So I didn't know exactly what to expect. Really, I felt like I can depend on Keymaster games. So I bought it because Keymaster was making a classic that I knew people liked. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's give that a chance. With Keymaster, I knew I was going to get a good production, and the coins are nice as well. I didn't mention that. The coins are nice. And the gameplay is really nice. It's really smooth. And it has that tension where you care about your opponent's actions, you care about your actions, and you're sharing a deck of cards. You're passing the cards back and forth. So when you see like a red burn card, you're like, I don't want to do that, but if I don't do it, my opponent's going to do it to me, and you don't know how long that's going to last. And you would hope to just bury it, but maybe you can't work that out. You're probably going to get burnt, which means you're going to lose a card of your opponent's choice on that certain like thief area. So the way that the turns rotate too, really cool. You're doing the thief actions first, and it's all laid out very nicely. It shows what part, you're doing the thief or you're doing the gear.
Yeah.
And then it shows how many cards you get. It's a die. It's a pips and a die that reminds you that you're getting 6 cards this round. So the layout is really nice. The locations are always going to change. It's different. You're going to have generic locations that could come out at any time, and you're going to have specific spots of Europe. Basically, if you're doing the Paris or Barcelona or whatever you're going to do. So the game is going to change that way too. So you can replay all these several different times over and over if you want. What we did is we did 2 Paris and we did 2 Barcelona, I think.
No,
it could be Rome.
Yeah, I believe it was Rome.
I think Barcelona's next. So we did 4 games total, and we're not done with it. So we're going to keep going. I know we're going to do at least the next 2. There's 4 total. So we're going to do, I think the way we do it, we're just probably going to keep doing it. We're 2 each on every one. But then it's not like you're done. This game is replayable beyond, it's not like you're going to ever see everything. You can always shuffle the locations. There are going to be new locations every time, different cards every time as far as the way you're going to get those cards and when you're going to get them, and what you decide to do with them. The money is interesting because you're getting money for the different thieves. And you need that money, especially your first go-round.
Yeah.
You need that money. So you're just going like, I just need the money, really, because I need to buy all these gear cards quick. And you're going to get less thieves as the game goes on. So you're going to get 3 thieves, I think, the first round, and 2, then 1, as far as the thieves go. And the thieves pretty much dictate, and I'm explaining a lot of the game, but we have to teach, actually, before this video, but the thieves are going to dictate where you can actually play. So if you don't put any thieves on a spot, that you're forfeiting that spot.
Yeah.
And your opponent can stash things away, like you said, when you played it. So there's a decent amount to consider in this game. So for a 2-player game, I enjoyed it a lot. Did you have any other pros? I covered quite a bit.
Yeah, you did, yeah. And I didn't want to interrupt you and ruin your flow there. Yeah. But yeah, initially looked at the game, very nice looking. I wasn't present when you initially unboxed it because you were doing that alone on the channel. Then I took a look at it though when we were playing. Obviously, it was so nice, and I thought that it was very clever. Even things so much as like if you want money and income, the one card that gives you a lot of coins, you have to have a coin to give up for it. So it's kind of quirky. Like you're spending a coin to get 4 or 5 coins. But you can't just get 4 coins, and then you worry about that one if you don't just take advantage of it and grab it before you give it to your opponent to go and get that much money, because it is a good amount. And yeah, that that tension and tugging that we do, it's good for that reason for sure. And I think you really covered a lot of the things that are great about the game. I think the card design, the graphic design is very clean, and it's very clear, the iconography of like what's happening. We didn't have to wait. What's going on? Oh, I have to check. We didn't have a lot of those moments.
The only time you're gonna get that is when you introduce new rules.
Yeah.
And every city does
Yeah,
that.
which is so cool too. And the fact that you have those different cards in play where there's going to be different types of loot that ultimately, is it loot so much as like it's per city it changes the nature of some of the location.
Yeah. So there are some things that will chain as far as instant actions
Yeah.
or end game bonuses. Those are all gonna be different, and you have to learn those sometimes because. Again, you're getting new cities would introduce new rules, but it's clearly laid out in the rules. Like, hey, you're in Barcelona. These are the rules for Barcelona. This is new iconography,
Yeah.
and it's not heavy. It's like 2 new ones. You know,
So really clever, and then even the stuff that you stash can even get you points sometimes.
in certain cities.
Like in certain cities, it's just very clever and never a dull moment when we're playing it. So it's been fun so far. Did you have any negative, anything that you disliked about the game before you give your score?
Well, yeah. And before I go to the negatives, actually, a few more things
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as the push and the tug of war thing that you
Yeah.
have in Watergate and 13 Days, especially the real tug of war there is all there in every single city. So if you like that aspect of those type of games, it's here and it's in spades. It's in every city you go to. You're tugging that caper, and you can actually get those caper masks and really chain them off in like I play. Remember, I did play a green card. It would just slide 3
Yeah.
because not only was my gear geared toward green cards. The location was geared toward green cards, so I chained off 3. So I knew I was going to win that location because I play a green card. It goes all the way to my end. So that is really cool feeling that I can lock things down if I play my cards right, if I'm dealt the right hand, or if I see things and don't draft away like good things to my opponent. I actually see it, I take it, and make sure that that's something that I'm going for there.
And the speed in which that you can move, like you said, can be very surprising, the ending, because you can think you have control of something, and then by the end of the game or by the end of that round, suddenly
If you
you get
lose your focus.
You're like, you're good. I've taken care of that one. I've moved it all the way. I don't have to push it any further. It's all the way on my
Yeah.
side. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at other locations, and then before you know it, you're actually
nibbling at it,
yeah.
just nibbling at it, and then just boom, put up
and
the
you don't
hit.
have it, yeah, and it's kind of funny that way. So yeah, it really does require some focus, but it's just very entertaining, and I
Yeah,
like
and-
those kind of things.
And we're treating it like a heavy game, but it's not a heavy
Yeah.
game. But there is a plenty to consider, which makes it a robust game. It's a robust feeling. There are a lot of things to consider right from the get-go. Right when you see your locations, you're like, "Oh, that location says that. I'm going to go for that. I'm gonna play around the blue cards."
And they're varied victory points. Like, oh, do I want to go for the most one? That one's going to be popular. He's probably going to go for that. Maybe I'll go for the lesser one, and he'll, won't pursue me. And
Right.
you know.
And if you don't win the location, you don't win any of those points. But there are other ways to score points within the things you've built, the
Yeah.
gear that you've put out, the bonuses you did with your thieves. That can give you points, and that can be something that wins you the game. If you don't win a location, fret not. You may have done a great chain and got a lot of points by various sequences. So those are a lot of pros to this game. Let me get into the cons. I don't have very many. The cons I do have is it's a 2-player only game. I would love to play this with more players. I would love everyone to experience this game with me. I am limited to this playing at 2 players, which a game like this, it hurts a little bit. Vic and I do play a ton of 2 players, but it would be excellent to show this to friends and play with friends and have them enjoy this experience. So that is limiting. If you are somebody that doesn't play 2-player a lot, this is not going to be worth your buy. It's not, because it's not going to come out to the table enough, and that's a shame. That's a real shame, because it is a great game. As far as other negatives, I kind of wish that we would focus more on the specific locations, because we do shuffle the generic ones, which can be like a museum and not something like like the Coliseum.
No one in that location.
Yeah,
in
it
that
could just
city.
be something generic like an art museum or something. And there's more of those. Those outnumber the ones you introduce from the particular cities. So you could shuffle those up and not get any of those. I don't like that. I would rather see ones that are really specific. I'm going to get those. I'm guaranteed to get at least one. In this case, you're not necessarily guaranteed unless you just say, you know what, I don't want that one. Let me draw one until like see one from Rome.
Yeah.
That was a one glaring negative. Like, oh, that aspect of it when I set up the game, it's like I got the museum again or whatever. It's like I don't want that. I want to see different things.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's a real smooth game. So, and like I said for Parks, I said that Parks plays silky smooth. This one doesn't play as smooth as Parks, but it's on that. It's near that level. It's in the ballpark. So.
Yeah, I don't have much in terms of negative. I was actually thinking the same thing as you, that I had asked you, does this play 4? Are we going to try this at 4? And this is 2-player only. And so that was something that was one of the first questions I had when we were playing it. I like the art. I have no qualms about any of the components or anything that is going on in this game. And it's a really cool game.
Yeah, and it's a deluxe edition, a Kickstarter edition, Mastermind edition. So I don't know what you're going to get at Target. I assume it'll be still amazing quality because of Keymaster. They're not going to put out a lazy cardboard shits and stuff. It's going to be almost on par with what you see here. You might not have that nice sleeve. You might not have the really nice metal coins. It might be not that. It might be something else, but it'll still be a good quality, thick cardboard coin, if anything else. So I wouldn't hesitate saying, yeah, you could buy this when it comes to Target. I don't know when that's happening, but I'm pretty sure it's a Target and Amazon exclusive. I'm pretty sure I saw that on their site that Amazon's going to have it as well.
What's your score?
Well, my score is pretty high. So note that I tend to like a little heavier games. So my score is going to scale down when it comes to a little lighter games. So it's not going to hit 9s or anything, but it is going to hit 8s. It's an 8-3 for me.
Nice.
I really enjoy this 2-player only game. 2-player only games in general, hit or miss for me. Not too many great ones. This one is, I would say even slightly better than Targi, and Targi is one of my favorite of all time. It's not Skull Hollow, but it's still very awesome.
Yeah, I would score this one an 8.6. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed playing it with Nick, and it is one of the top 2-player games for him and I to play. I don't mind the tension. I don't mind, because you're not feeling like you're left behind or you're getting annihilated or you're losing territory, because you can always find another spot and redeem, like go another way and try to change things. It's I don't know, it's nice. There's redemption that can happen.
That is one of the other pros that I was going to mention. I forgot, is that you don't know if you won or lost most of the time until it actually comes down to nitty gritty at the end.
It's true, yeah.
It's like, oh, I see, I'm going to lose. But it happens right at the end. And the whole time you're interested. I don't know. I think I'm going to win. I think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, I'm not sure if I won. That's pretty close.
That's what I really enjoy, because there's nothing worse when you have 2 players and you just know who won, because it's one of 2, and if it's not you, it's pretty obvious.
It's nice. It is really nice because, you're scoring locations, but that's not the end-all be-all. You got all these things you set up through the game on your thieves, on your gear, that you're scoring you a lot of points. I'm going to catch up because I know I have these sequences. There's going to be 8 points, and I'll be right in that game, and we'll see what happens.
It's a beautiful thing. So we really enjoy this 2-player game, Caper Europe Mastermind Edition. Check it out for sure when it goes to retail. If you hadn't backed it, if you did back it, we hope you're enjoying it. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about it, what your first impressions were, if you saw the unboxing video. And like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.